Hello, dear viewer. The other day I made a Discord server, link in the description, for all my dear viewers to yell at each other about music for pretty much no reason. To my dismay, they, and by they I mean 8 of the smartest people I've ever seen, put their heads together and ranked just about every rock band to ever rock band. I thought it'd be fun to see how this list turned out, see how unfathomably incorrect or correct they are, if they just regurgitate my opinions. I'm gonna go bottom to top here, so let's see how it goes. America slash cock. They told me these tiers were pretty much the same, and I don't see many issues here. All these bands I either don't know or have one or two hits that I could probably live without. Perhaps we could move Meatloaf up from second to fucking last, but whatever. Breaks my heart that the youth doesn't fuck with Hootie and the Blowfish, but I'm not going to look you in your eyes and tell you they're a fantastic band. Bush also perhaps just a touch low, especially when you read the names of the higher tiers, but I've got no issues so far. The Elon Musk tier, I have no idea who this is. Think you the shit, bitch? You not even the. This one's pretty goated, actually. I was unfamiliar with the great Chuck Berry, but I've been informed that old Chucky had a fart fetish. That's the whole joke. It's pretty funny. Next, don't listen to... Me neither, guys. I don't actually know a single artist here. I'm fairly impressed. Actually, I've heard of the Indigo Girls, but gun to my head, high pressure situation. I don't think I could name a song. I'd be finished. The Anthony Kiedis tier. It's here incredibly near and dear to my heart. This is a pretty solid lineup here. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Imagine Dragons, Creed, these are some of the worst bands to ever touch an instrument. Great answers here. We're looking good so far. I'd rather kill myself. Here's where things get noticeably hazy. Train? Yeah, they stink, but come on. Suicide can't be the answer over listening to Drive By. That track used to get 13-year-old me moving on the dance floor, I'll tell you that much. Suicidal Tendencies, also perhaps a touch low. I'm not raising my fist quite yet, but I can move them up a little bit. Seether? They stink, but they're kind of funny. Primus is where I'm going to have to place my hand firmly on their chest here, grabbing their cape, if you would. I have thrashed Primus many times, but they're not this bad. Maybe they are now, actually, but their first couple records are at the very least solid. A little low on the Primus, I'd say. Limp Bizkit, maybe a little too low as well. The rest I'm pretty cool with here. Oh, except Cannibal Corpse. Get those bastards into the Anthony Kiedis tier. Fuck those guys. I Feel Nothing. This one gets me a little upset, dear viewer. A little fire in my eye with this tier. Third Eye Blind, you motherfuckers? You listen to Motorcycle Drive By and tell me you feel nothing, you heartless bastards. They've sucked pretty much since their third album, but I thoroughly enjoyed their first project, and their second one's not horrible. Wagging my finger right there. Also, Talking Heads? I'll chalk it up to lack of ball knowledge here. I'm not sure they belong on a rock band tier list anyway. Actually, I'm 100% sure they don't belong on this tier list. This is far too low for this band. For shame. Sonic Youth? Actually, that's fine. Snot could go up a tier here. Santana could also probably go up a tier. He's got that Smooth song. That one's pretty fun. Oasis was pretty good for their first couple projects. I'd probably slide them up a tier as well. Muse, maybe up a tier as well. Incubus really ruffles my feathers here, but I understand I do have a borderline irrational bias for this band. They could go up a tier, though, I think, even then. Green Day a little high here. I think the cats that made this tier list are also pretty young, hence the Grateful Dead being this low. I'm not sure how familiar they are with weed. Blur could maybe sneak up a tier, but I'm not going to fight you for that one, I don't think. I thought this one said Alice in Chains, and I almost flew into my viewer's house and suplexed them, but we're good. It's just whoever the fuck Alice Cooper is. It only gets worse. Let's keep moving. I Feel Something. What the fuck is Weezer doing this high? Is this some kind of sick joke? Velvet Revolver also probably just flat out too high. They're very alright, and that comes from perhaps the biggest Scott Weiland fan on the planet. Smashing Pumpkins, actually egregiously low. I'm not sure what they considered for this list. Maybe it's like their whole catalog of music. If that's the case, sure. They've sucked for the last 20 years or so, but their 90s run is one of my favorite runs in music, period. Slipknot, who the fuck invited you here? Rob Zombie, a smidge too high, I'd say as well. Pantera, cool. Ozzy, cool. Modest Mouse, I'd probably move up a little bit, but I won't fight you for that again. The next one is actually why I decided to make this video. What in the actual name of Christ is fucking Kings of Leon doing up here? Are they lost? Do they need someone to take them home? My god, this must have just been an actual oversight, I think. Allow me to list off good Kings of Leon songs for you. I'll go fast. Use Somebody. I'm done. This is a textbook I Feel Nothing artist right here. As is Kiss. What the fuck are they doing here? I got so upset about Kings of Leon I almost glossed over this one. Kiss has no business being here at all. Korn, sure man, whatever. Gojira, a little low, I'd say. Ghost, unbearably high. They're pretty much complete asshole. Faith No More, I think I'd slide up a tier, but I have a borderline unhealthy obsession with Mike Patton at this point. The Doors, I might slide up a tier here. Coldplay? Now, I don't think it's based on entire catalogs. These guys have sucked for like the last 2 decades. I mean, they suck, I don't know, 80% of the time, and the other 20% of the time, I'd say they're average. I can't get behind this one. Down a tier for sure. Bullet for My Valentine, too high, I fear, but I'll let it slide. Arctic Monkeys, sure, I guess. But now we move on to the next tragedy. I'd like to read you a list of bands below Avenged Sevenfold very quickly. The Beach Boys, Blur, Evanescence, Foo Fighters, The Grateful Dead, Green Day, actually that one's fine, Incubus, Muse, Oasis, REM, Sonic Youth, Santana, Talking Heads, Third Eye Blind. I'll stop there. I'm insulted. I'm taken aback. I'm hurt. You hurt me today. The Weenie tier. A slight recovery with this tier, actually. Yes, they're pretty good. I like that answer. The Who? Sure, fuck yeah. Van Halen? Way too high. I'm not sure what they're doing here, actually. The Police? Okay. Sublime? Kind of seems lost this high, but I wouldn't move them crazy far down. Maybe a tier. STP, My Glorious King. Soundgarden, My Glorious Kings. Sex Pistols? Too high, man. Very average artist. No business being this high. Rush, sure. Rage, fuck yeah. Queensryche, a bit higher than they probably should be. Pixies, same thing. Pink Floyd, a little low, huh? I can't really imagine a rock band tier list without Pink Floyd at the top. I hard disagree here. Pearl Jam, probably a touch too high. Opeth, good here, I'd say. Nine Inch Nails could go up a tier, maybe. Metallica and Megadeth could probably also go up a spot. Judas Priest, you're not going to like this, I think are pretty overrated. I'd probably personally have them down and I Feel Nothing, but don't comment about that, I won't respond. Journey, way too high, very average band. What the fuck? Johnny Cash, how the fuck is he a rock band? Dinosaur Jr.? I like them up this high, actually. I respect this. Jethro Tull, sure. Iron Maiden, sure. Interpol, I don't understand, but this is probably objectively correct. Death, this is as low as I'd accept. I could probably move them up a little bit. Dream Theater, a little high, I'd say. I've always found them pretty average. Gorillaz, I guess. Dio, Polar Bear in Arlington, Texas. Deftones, I'd probably slide up a tier, but fine, I'm biased there. Bob Dylan, sure. Bowie, I'd also probably slide up a tier, but okay. Baby Metal, what the fuck? No way, man. I Feel Nothing for sure, bordering on the suicide tier for me. Audioslave, probably too high here as well. Their debut is good, but everything after that is just super forgettable. This isn't the worst tier they've cooked up. I think the worst is actually behind us now, dear viewer. We're smooth cruising for the rest of this video. The Ween tier. I noticed Ween actually isn't on this tier list, but I'm going to imagine they'd be here. That's a big W if they are. Tool, of course, belong up here. White Stripes. You can't see me, but I'm doing one of those white people smiles. They're a bit high, I fear. The Strokes, I like it. System of a Down, I also like up here. The Smiths, I'd probably move down a tier, but they're very good. The Rolling Stones, I guess, but I'd probably drop them a tier as well. Radiohead absolutely belong up here. Queens of the Stone Age as well. Queen, sure. I'd personally probably drop them down a tier, but they're legendary. Prince, sure. Nirvana, sure. Motorhead, no thanks. Led Zeppelin, of course, a great answer. King Crimson, another great answer. Jimi Hendrix, another great answer. Fleetwood Mac, I suppose, but I'd probably drop them just a tier as well. The Clash, I'm not too familiar, but this sounds plausible. I've heard good things. Black Sabbath, gotta be up here, as do the Beatles. The fucking Beastie Boys? I didn't know the youngins got down with the Beastie Boys like that, or maybe they're fucking with me. I'd drop them down a tier or two maybe, but I respect the answer. Alice in Chains, one of my goats for sure, and ABBA, another Polar Bear in Arlington, Texas. They've got some stellar hits, but I don't often throw a record on from them top to bottom. In fact, I don't think I've ever done that. And the King tier, where My Chemical Romance stands alone. I like My Chemical Romance. Are they better than a single band in that last tier? Yeah, they are. Motorhead's there, but I don't think I'd give them the crown of rock bands. Honestly, dear viewer, this wasn't so bad. Some wacky shit on here, but were I a teacher and this were to come across my desk, I think I'd give this a B, perhaps a B+. Could have been worse, I'd say. Shout out to the cats who made this list. I'll put their names on the screen. I appreciate your hard work. I think they said it took 5 hours, and that's a long time. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and like and stuff, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.